What do we want? Fair pay! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Fair pay! When do we want it? Now!
We want to make sure that the people that are coming to these hospitals, the residents, the interns, the nurses, anyone coming into these hospitals to serve the people of Brooklyn are being paid a wage that is reflective of what we believe they are and what we believe our people need. Is the premier health system in this entire country.
Hello everybody, welcome to CIR's first ever Unity Break at Kings County Hospital. My name is Dr. Salma Sadaf and I'm a resident here at Kings County. It's an honor to be out here with you today, even though I don't think we should be here in the first place. It is a no-brainer that our city and our mayor would agree to living wage for the doctors who work 80 hours a week. Being a doctor is hard. It's hard on our families, our partners, our children. They bear the brunt too. How is this even fair if we are not even compensated fairly? We are the center of patient care at our public hospitals, treating New York's working class and community of color. We shouldn't be begging. We shouldn't be begging for fair wages. March of 2020, when us, essential workers and heroes, started risking our lives and the lives of our families during the first wave of the pandemic. We have not received a raise since then. Rent, cost of living, food, everything has risen, but not our wages. Is this how the city treats its essential workers and the heroes? Have they forgotten what we did and what our families went through? With the city's current offer, by next year, H+H residents will be paid $5,000 less than our counterparts at the private safety net hospitals. Why do you think anyone would want to work here? We are going to have a recruiting crisis and we will lose out on quality doctors. And that matters to us, and that should matter for New York. Resident physicians at Kings County and the city's other H+H hospitals are the doctors who come in contact with patients the most. Our well-being is New York's health. And we are struggling financially, physically, emotionally. And as physicians, we know that all those three things are linked for us to provide good health care. We are juggling ever-rising rent and grocery prices, while most of us carry more than $200,000 in student loan debt. We have very long commutes before and after 14-hour shifts because we cannot afford to live close to the hospital. I cannot believe we are even asking this of our mayor, but look, here we are. CIR residents are asking Mayor Adams most urgently for a living wage so that we can be able to live closer to the hospitals. And so we don't have to spend so much time worrying about how we are going to pay our rents. This would allow us to be more present with our patients, the largely Black immigrant community that we so proudly are so proud to serve at here, Kings County. This just doesn't affect the doctors, it affects us all. It affects Brooklyn, it affects community of color. Mayor Adams, what are you even doing? We say no to risking Brooklyn's health, and yes to protecting patient care. Say with me, what do we want? A fair pay. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Fair pay. When do we want? Now. I'm excited to welcome CIR's Regional Vice President and Kings County's resident, Dr. Dina Jabber.
Thank you, Dr. Sadaf. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and especially my fellow residents, the nurses who have come to join us as well. I'm so proud to work alongside all of you and belong to the same union as you. As CIR members, one thing I know that we share is our dedication to the idea that healthcare is a human right. It means so much to be part of a union and to work within a healthcare system that is so firmly rooted in that belief. I've been at Kings County now for 4 years as a resident, and I was here for 2 years before that as a medical student. I chose to come here. I knew that I wanted to come here, and I cared about this community. I was passionate about serving our community, and I wanted to stay here. As Dr. Sadaf mentioned, our recruiting crisis that may happen, if we can't prove and show that our residents and our physicians are valuable to this system, that is going to be something that we will struggle with. We want to continue to recruit amazing, compassionate, and caring physicians to serve at our hospital.
Yes.
Our patients should not suffer because we are not being treated as we should. We are simply asking Mayor Adams not to allow this amazing hospital and New York's visionary public hospital system to deteriorate. We provide exceptional care, and all of us, all that we want for Kings County is to be able to maintain this level of care for our predominantly Black, immigrant, and working class patients that we are proud to serve. We need Mayor Adams to invest in us, and by doing so, invest in this community. Especially as the neighborhoods H+H serve continue to face divestment in this city.
Shame.
One of the things that in our contract that we were hoping to improve is contributions from the hospital to our CIR's Patient Care Trust Fund. For those of you who don't know about the Patient Care Trust Fund, this was something that was started by the residents. It is a grant that the residents apply for to obtain money for equipment, quality improvement projects, and research that directly benefit our patients and our community. So this money goes actually straight into the hospital system, and it helps us to continue to provide gold standard care for our patients.
Yes.
Our residents work hard, and they take the extra time to apply for these grants. They're looking out for their patients. We are not only looking out for ourselves. By taking better care of ourselves, we can take better care of our patients.
Woo!
This past year alone, we granted $227,000 in equipment and research grants to Kings County alone. And that was driven by all the residents that you see here around me. Across all of the H+H hospitals, we funded over $700,000. So it just goes to show you how hardworking our residents are to give back to our community. Through the union, we've also been able to advocate for critical language access improvements at Kings County. Last year, we secured 24/7 Haitian Creole video interpretation services. The first 3 staff lines allocated for in-person interpreters, and the purchase of 60 new video interpreter devices in order to better serve our patients. CIR started in New York City's public hospitals in 1957. A few years after that, H+H doctors secured the Patient Care Trust Fund, and they've continued to provide to this community and work to improve. In the wake of COVID, residents are revitalizing the movement that started the union over 60 years ago, and the heart of our movement is still here in New York. We are refusing to accept the status quo of medicine, one that is unequal and busting at the seams. We want real healing. We want to be able to care for ourselves, have the space to be whole people outside of work. We want to be our parents, friends, members of our community. We want to take care of ourselves outside the hospital, so when we are here at the hospital, we are bringing our best selves for our patients.
Yes.
We won't stop raising our voices for ourselves, and we won't stop raising them for our patients. It's on Mayor Adams to listen.
Yes. Yes.
I'm Dr. Dina Jabber. At Kings County Internal Medicine Program, I'm a chief resident. It's spelled DINAJABER.
Thank you, Dr. Dina Jabber. That was some great comments. When I say fair, you say now. Fair pay now. Fair pay now. Fair pay now. Okay. Next we have Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Antonio Reynoso, and I'm the president of the greatest borough in the city of New York, which is Brooklyn. And I want to start off by saying that I love Kings County. CIR loves Kings County. The Nurses Union loves Kings County. And I believe that our health and hospital system here in the city of New York is the premier health system in this entire country. And the people in it believe that as well. We need the city of New York to match that same passion, to match that same energy, and to be just as committed as we are in maintaining the premier hospital system of the city of New York. And the way we do that is by attracting the best and by retaining the best. The way that is done is by paying them a fair wage. And that is what we're doing here today, being very honest and very straightforward. We want to make sure that the people that are coming to these hospitals, the residents, the interns, the nurses, anyone coming into these hospitals to serve the people of Brooklyn are being paid a wage that is reflective of what we believe they are and what we believe our people need. If you want to have a substandard system that is taking care almost exclusively black and brown poor people of Brooklyn, then you send that message by paying lower wages, by not giving the equipment that is needed. And that's not who we are as New Yorkers, and that is definitely not who we are as Brooklynites. So I'm standing here with CIR, with our interns and residents here today. Thank you to the nurses. Thank you to Kings County, because what we want is to maintain the level of care that we've come to expect here, which is excellent and high quality. We can continue to do that and do better by making sure our residents are not spending 80 hours a week tired, looking over patients, when we can cut that time down by hiring more people, by paying them more. We want to have the highest quality care. We need to do it, and it starts with a foundation of money. Let's pay them what they deserve. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Antonio Reynoso, for your lovely words. We know that you're standing behind us. Okay. Be fair, be fair, be fair to those who care. Let's go. Be fair, be fair, be fair to those who care. Okay. Be fair to those who care. Next we have the CIR delegate, Dr. Tobias Kochway, to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sadaf, and thank you everyone. My name is Dr. Tobias Kirchway, and I'm a very proud Kings County Emergency Medicine resident physician and CIR member. I came to Kings County for my residency because I, like all of us, believe deeply in the mission of New York City Health and Hospitals to care for everyone. H+H is the largest public hospital system in the country, and I believe that what this system is able to pull off is incredible, especially since for so long our city has failed to properly invest in its public hospitals and the workers who power them. Inside this hospital, I have the privilege of caring for every single person who walks through our doors. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter whether you are housed or not. It doesn't matter where you grew up, where you were born, whether you've ever been incarcerated, whether you are insured or documented. We will treat you with kindness, and we will provide great care because that's what we do. Our ability to continue to provide that kind of care is critical because communities across our city already face steep barriers to healthcare access as a result of structural racism that dates back centuries and corporate interests that ensure that New York's vast wealth is concentrated in the hands of the few.
Shame.
Meanwhile,
Shame!
Meanwhile, capitalism and U.S. imperialism abroad, which enrich Wall Street, displace folks from their homelands. And then, when they end up in New York City, our mayor cruelly turns his back on our new neighbors. I say this especially at a time when foreign policy creates and exacerbates the conditions that spur migration. When our patients lack healthy food, stable housing, real homes of their own, and good jobs, it is difficult to provide true healing in this hospital.
Yes!
And when the physicians providing care struggle to meet these same basic needs for ourselves, it becomes extremely challenging to be present with our patients in the hospital or to focus on training to become the best doctors we can be for our patients.
Damn right! Damn right!
Kings County is a critical hub of care for the largely Black immigrant community that we have the great privilege of caring for. But my coworkers and I struggle every day to get by, particularly those of us who do not have a financial safety net from our families. If Mayor Adams doesn't address our pay disparity with residents in the private hospital systems of this city, we will especially risk losing doctors who look like our patients and who speak their languages, which we know makes a real difference in patient outcomes. We cannot let that happen, and we cannot let our mayor turn his back on the healthcare workers at the heart of the health of our city. We need a fair contract now, and we will not stop making noise until we get it. Thank you again. My name is Tobias Kirchway, and I'm an emergency medicine resident and CIR delegate.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tobias Kirchway. That was amazing. When I say union, you say power. Union, power. Union, power. Union, power. Okay. Next, we are grateful to introduce NYC's LBU President Pauline Wallace. Give it a
Hello, hello, hello. Why are we out here? You know, last year NYSDA was in the same position, but I'm wondering, why are we even here? It's so cold. We should not even have to argue or beg or ask anyone to pay us to pay the doctors. You know, nurses and doctors, we work side by side. We cannot function without each other. So, and as I said, I'm Pauline Wallace. I am the LBU president, NYSDA president here at Kings County Hospital. And every patient that enters this door have to see the doctors and they have to see the nurses. So the doctors cannot live on the wage that they are currently paid, especially the interns, the residents. You know, they're here studying. We cannot attract quality doctors to come and practice in our hospital. And let's be real. Public hospital in New York serve the uninsured, immigrants. Now we have an influx of migrants which overpower the emergency room right there. Can you imagine not enough doctors to take care of all these patients? And we know that patient uses the emergency room for their services. So I am calling on Mayor Adams, this city, to pay the doctors what they need. Give them a fair wage so they can function, so they can pay their rent, so they can buy food, because as we know, most of us cannot live in Brooklyn because the rent is so high, and we do not have family members to stay with. So, NYSDA, on behalf of NYSDA, we will stand with the doctors and the residents and the interns who are represented by CIR You guys, you have to keep fighting. Do not go anywhere. It will take something out of you, but it's worth it in the end. So every doctor deserves a fair wage. So what do we want? Fair wage. And when do we want it? Now. What do we want? Fair wage. When do we want it? Now. Shame on Mayor Adams. Pay the doctors. Thank you so much.